Imagine thinking you could be so stubborn to even just get close to a wild animal just for photos, and thinking you could, think it's like you go walking going to the zoo, and then you end up risking your life, and then you ended up, unfortunately, they're just, they're self-killed. And of course, we're talking about that the first thing that happened, this month, where some buffalo gored 25-year-old woman in the Yellowstone National Park. Which that woman, she ignored all the warning signs to stay at least 25 years, 25 yards away from all dangerous wildlife. And the thing is, including bison, the buffalo is one animal that you not do not want to get close to, and they could, like, literally with their horns, they could, like, spike you up in the air, and then when you land, high chances you'll die. So warning signs say stay 25 yards away. So of course, since Yellowstone National Park is technically where they live, it is their home. So the buffalo was walking near a boardwalk in Black Sand Basin, north of Old Faithful. The Yellowstone National Park says that the woman that then got really close to the animal. She got within 10 feet, 3 meters, before the animal impaled her with its horn and tossed her 10 feet in the air. Which was a natural instinct, because just about when it comes to wild animals, if anyone comes close to them, if it ain't their own, they will take that as a challenge, and of course they'll since they're the buffalo, and like buffalo, and also bulls, they use their horns as weapons as a defense mechanism, and they will impale and attack people with that way, and just about other animals. And of course, if she had just followed the rules and stayed that 25-yard distance away, or even further away, of course, this would not ever have happened. Park officials said that woman died. And also because she had a puncture wound and other injuries. Of course, being as a buffalo impaling her with its horn. And then, of course, you're being tossed in the air so hard, so high, and then landing, crashing so hard, high chances you're dying. Unfortunately, she died because of her own mistakes. No park emergency medical providers did transport her via ambulance to the Eastern Idaho Regional Medical Center. And they don't know if the woman died because of like, right after the incident or maybe at the hospital. So that never has been solved though. So we just look at the diagrams here. So this is Yellowstone National Park. This is like old Faithful, and this is where the boardwalk where that woman got impaled, and this boardwalk. So animals can roam wherever they want. Because again, this isn't a zoo. This is their habitat. They can roam free. They're not humans. They can do whatever they want. So apparently, that was the first time of the year where someone got impaled and gored. Which again is not uncommon, but which the regulations state more than 25 yards or 23 meters away from bison. Bison. Apparently, two other people were also within the 25 yards. A male American bison can weigh up to 2,000 pounds, and and again these they behave much like cattle, just hanging around in the sunshine, and they also have a speed of up to 40 miles per hour, pretty fast. So they can go fast as a car going 70 up to 70 kilometers per hour, or or the alternative miles around 2,300 to the 5,500 bison called Yellowstone National Park their home, and of course the other buffalo do live in normally in also the Midwest. So apparently, a study reports that 25 people, 21 visitors, and 4 employees that suffered bison-related injuries at Yellowstone between 2000 and 2015. Youngest victim being 7 years old, while the oldest was 68, and 13 of them were women. So the most of the time there was women. So that study shows that of that 21 visitors, shows that 20 of them, or 80% in total, first approached the bison, so they got close to the buffalo. And again, you should never get too close to wildlife because yeah, they take that as a threat. Because of course this is their home. So why are you getting too close to them? And of course, they think you're attacking them, doing something to them. Another 12 people, according to 48% of all victims, saw the bison charge at them while trying to take photos of them. And of course, people come there to take photos of buffalo and other wildlife. And some other facts that they also tell you at the Yellowstone National Park is, of course, there's also injuries and stuff that did happen. So they tell when the animal is near a campsite, trail, boardwalk, parking lot, or in a developed area, it is advised to give it space to stay at least 25 yards or 23 meters away from the animals. They're also warned to of staying away from hot springs, with at least 22 people having died from related incidents in around Yellowstone since 180. So apparently, some man named Colin Scott, 23-year-old, had from from Portland to Oregon, had then trying to do a hot pot, which is a term for soaking in hot water. And of course, they did not, stay on a boardwalk, and they tried to, relax in the hot springs, and then he got, of course, he died. That was in 2013. Which, of course, the water was like scalding hot. So, yeah, he literally got burned to death. And although they tried to rescue, get his body out, unfortunately, there was a lightning storm the day before, so, and they couldn't find his remains, so of course that just added on to more problems. And unfortunately, these things. So the temperature for those those hot springs can go from in Fahrenheit up to 400 degrees. Or more. So that's pretty hot. So this is the photo of the guy who accidentally fell in the ring trying to check the temperature, which his sister Zadie mentioned that yeah, he was trying to check the temperature and then fell in the water. That's what happens. And another incident, elderly woman, again, impaled and gored. Again, buffalo. Which was a 72-year-old woman. Again, we don't know her name, not identified. She was attacked at the Bridge Bay campground campsite. She was trying to get a photo, like many there's people who do that. Park rangers had to go get her, and then she was flown to Eastern Idaho Regional Medical Center via helicopter for third treatment. Again, like that woman that just as we heard her this month, she was also within 10 yards. And which that just got the park's senior bison biologist Chris Jeremiah to say, to be safe around bison, stay at least 25 yards away, move away if they approach, and run away or find cover if they charge. Another incident, this involved a bear. So finally, we're not talking about buffalo. So a father of 4 kids got attacked by a grizzly bear. His remains was discovered by a search party in Montana. So the man's name was Craig Collater, from Livingston Park County search. So Craig Collater, he went missing after hiking in a 6-mile creek area of the Paradise Valley, as the Living Enterprise reports. So the mountain that really crossed through above the Yellowstone River, passing through the Paradise Valley. So Craig had gone hiking with a friend, but they split up, most likely to hunt for antlers. This is what he looks like. And this is where he got it. Right there, where the river flows. Very close to Wyoming and Montana. And since 2010, grizzly bears in Yellowstone National Park killed at least 8 people. One of them being a backcountry guide killed by a bear alongside the western border. The guide, Charles Carl Locke, was killed in April after being mauled by a 400 plus pound male grizzly while fishing alone. On Montana's Madison River. Which grizzlies are protected under federal law outside Alaska. Which elected officials in region are pushing to lift protection and allow grizzly bear hunting. So they're allowing people to hunt bears. Another incident which involves a pet, a dog, and some young woman in her 20s, 20-year-old Like Slayton, which she was burned alive after jumping into 990-degree Fahrenheit Yellowstone geyser trying to save her puppy, Shih Tzu breed, which she was in a medically induced coma at an Idaho hospital after the October 5th. So Laya and her father Woodrow had stopped for a visit at the parked 20 to 30 yards away from the Maiden's Grave Spring, next to the Firehole River. According to the sister, Camila, and the family's two Shih Tzus, Rusty and Chevy, had gotten out of the car, and the dogs were wandering around. And then one of the dogs, Rusty, got his foot, one of his paws burned. A small leak from the geyser that flowed into the river, and dog fell into a spring. And while the dad tried to gain control of the Chevy, and then one of the sisters, she jumped in the thermal spring, and while Woodrow, 48-year-old, and he pulled his daughter out of the scalding water of just 8 seconds. Although he did get injured, he drove Laiha to the west Yellowstone, Montana, which she got sent to the same medical center that they all send people to. So 90% of her body is covered in severe burns, which is half of them are third-degree burns, with the rest of them is second-degree burns. So she isn't dead, but at least she is alive. She's lucky to be alive after her father saved her. Now, people have to really be careful when going to a national park, and stay on the boardwalk. Stay away from wildlife. Otherwise, you end up getting yourself killed, whether it's by the wildlife, the buffalo, or maybe a bear, or of course, avoid the hot springs. And unfortunately, this happens, but some people, you have to be careful, because anything can happen, and you could either, get killed, or and Laiha, she's lucky to be alive, because she was that close to death. So, of course, if you want to go to the national park, if you're in Yellowstone or especially where buffalo, roam, you got to be careful. They do not play around.